And I've got to say, in all honesty, um, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
All right, we're gonna change the tide over to basketball real quick. And what's going on with the Los Angeles Lakers after a horrific 0-4 start over the beginning of the season? We're now a month and a half in over the NBA season, and Darvin Ham in the helm has only accumulated 3 wins. 3 wins, and we're over 13 games in. They only had a 2-game win streak where they won over a margin of a double-digit lead, or near one, against the New Orleans Pelicans, that is a young team, and the Denver Nuggets over a close margin off a good showing off LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Primarily Westbrook. But, the Lakers suck, bro. Had they come over the incisions over an indecisive sports media to break off the team, trading everybody, including LeBron James, and people taking that like a religion, like no big franchise player ever, like a guy that defines not only the franchise but the league, never been traded before. Like, people never heard of Wayne Gretzky. Like, there's been GOATs that's been traded before, because that's not going to beat over the long-term defect of what's going to happen. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers did beat the Brooklyn Nets off a good showing in a 13-point margin. And that was coming off their second 5-game losing streak, where they got destroyed by the Utah Jazz. Couldn't hold over at least a double-digit deficit over the last 4 minutes of play against the Los Angeles Clippers. They lost by 6 by the Sacramento Kings, and got destroyed by 15 points against the Utah Jazz after their overtime win against the goddamn Utah Jazz. A team that was supposed to be tanking after getting rid of their 3-time Defensive Player of the Year and their all-time one of their best all-stars out of Donovan Mitchell. And guess what? They're doing better than both those teams. Over their margin of error, they're taking 1,800 plus. People are not even expecting them to still even finish around at least the play-in situation that they were last year, with just aging depth, no good perimeter defense, no defensive hustle from LeBron James, with like any show of concern for the team's performance over Russell Westbrook, not taking criticism until it went too far over the fan base, and Anthony Davis' health issues. I'm just shocked that there's never been a reason to blow it up over the recent offseason to begin with, or not even making any trades over the deadline. Because they're already over the cap. They're not going to get a pick until we're nearly done with the decade. And we don't even know what's going to be over the long term with LeBron, knowing that his son, he's possibly going to go back to Cleveland, or just a market that's more concerned with him winning. Because we know that he's possibly just going to win the scoring title. I think he only missed like 3 games over the season so far, and even the games that LeBron missed, they went off convincing fashion. So that's either telling me a couple things. They suck even with him. They suck without him, but they play better without him. There's some positives. There's at least somewhat some positives. Westbrook is knowing that he's not an outer player. He'll push over his corner shots, and he'll pick over the spots that he's more consistent on. And he can attack over the rim and still use his motor that he still has, even though he's 33 years old. So at least Westbrook knows his limitations by now. Lonnie Walker, good off-ball playmaker that can shoot out the ball and attack the rim, and he's decent defensively. Wayne Gabriel, that's average. Matt Ryan, that dead ass, has a that literally came out of doing Uber Eats to now playing in the highest level of basketball. Juan Tuscan Anderson, that averages as much points as me, but he plays double-digit minutes. And, of course, Austin Reeves. That's been the only positive young player to come out of the Lakers so far after getting rid of Caruso and Taylor Horton-Tucker. That dropped a bag on their head last time they played. Twice. And Anthony Davis. That's putting up average numbers, but that's about it. Sometimes he comes over from a margin of dropping 26 points to dropping 19 and putting under 5 rebounds over the team, and because they have a lack of big men depth. All they do is just have off-ball wings that can't rebound. The second tallest person on the team is at least 6'9", and that's LeBron James. I can't. The most they had out of it was Thomas Bryant, but he's already hurt, and so is Dennis Schroeder. And they got rid of Dwight Howard. They got rid of they let DeAndre Jordan and Andre Drummond walk. Veteran bigs that had career double-digit rebounding in their resume. Yeah. I am sure there's no buyer's remorse out of whatever the Lakers think that they're doing over in this land. They still are they really confident with this relocation franchise of roster, bro? Because having two 5-game losing streaks and under 15 games over the regular season is not a good sign for things to come, guys. You guys are possibly not even going to be in playoff contention come around January. What's over the decision that you're going to have with LeBron James? If Anthony Davis is still willing to even contend, if Westbrook doesn't win out after getting reduced over to a role player pushing over the second unit, and just knowing that you guys don't have any future because LeBron's like about to turn 39, Davis is already nearly in his prime years and he already doesn't perform like he should be, and you have an aging Westbrook with none of your rotation players showing that they can ever average around at least 18 points a game, and Patrick Beverley's there, I'm just pointing out over the obvious. Because these shooting splits are ass. If Kendrick Dunn averages around 29, 36 of Toscano Anderson, LeBron and Davis, they just skip in between. Like 15-point games, 18-point games, and then they'll average around 26 for like 3 pointless games and still lose because they can barely hold over the game. And just the way that they drop defenses, turn over the balls like hot potatoing. Bro, I saw that game against the Clippers. That nearly got me tight. And even against the Kings, when De'Aaron Fox came around with he put around like 29 points. Attacking the rim. Barely can hustle over the offensive rebound. And Domantas Sabonis, for a scoring big as he is, he's not good on the defensive side of the ball. Made those two look like all-stars. Like, that's not a good sign, bro. So, it's either the Lakers gotta clean it up, if they're still trying to push over any semblance of this team being a dynasty, that I feel like you guys just peaked over in 2020, in 2021, got too high off your britches to see of all because you got a third big name over your franchise when two big names already over a max deal, with already rotating veteran and youth over your roster that already get prime time play on TV, would have been good enough to at least contend, or at least to push the second round. Because I'd rather be at least an average, consistent playoff contender than just mediocre pushing over with no chance of getting a lottery pick. That's out of the question. Besides that, how you guys feel about how the Lakers are going this season? You feel like they're just etched up for failure, you think there's still hope, or you think they just need the offseason to think about some things, comment down below. Let your voice be heard. That's it from the DSD Show. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, so we can grow this over to 300. I'm seeing the love and the views, what's going on, and I want that to continue. That's it for me.